As Alice continued climbing the first mountain, she started meeting many new friends from different cities. Pearl City has very beautiful mountains, so it has attracted many ants from different cities of the Ant Kingdom to come and climb the mountains in the Pearl City. As they all speak different dialects, they all had to learn the national ant language before coming to Pearl City. And Alice has met some really good friends there. So, two of them, Lucy and Mallow, and they walked together very happily. And they talked about their dreams, what they would do once they reached the top of the mountain. Alice said, "Well, I want to just sleep on the clouds and daydream peacefully." Lucy said, "Well, I want to dance on a rainbow." And Mello said, "I want to paint music notes." Yeah, so they got really enthusiastic, sharing each other's dreams and thinking, oh, when will this nightmare of mountain be over? And one day, the king announced that there is going to be a first prize for the first ant who reaches the top of the mountain. Wow, and that prize looked very shiny. Like, yeah, golden color, and like every ant got very excited. Like, yeah, I want the prize. And so every ant started to have its own strategy to reach first on the top of the mountain. So some ants, they stopped sleeping. They simply started walking even at night. And some ants, they started running even though they felt really tired. They ran. And some ants, well, like Alice, simply she had to stop talking to her friends. Well, yeah, because she didn't have time anymore. Alice, Mallow, and Lucy, the three of them walked at different speed. So they have stopped to wait for each other because they were so, yeah, obsessed about the prize. Now they could only see the prize. And they would be like, okay, if we all walk together, we're going to be super slow to reach the prize. So yeah, let us just kind of like walk separately so we could walk faster and then reach the top of the mountain faster. So, as they have decided that, the mountain journey has started to become a lonely one. Each ant just walk alone. And as Alice looked around, she suddenly stopped seeing friends in other ants. She looked at them like her enemies. She's like, oh, all you guys are enemies that are going to snatch my prize from me. So she felt very anxious. She was eager to preserve her position. So as she was walking, she kept looking front and back. Is any ant catching up with me? How much distance is left between me and the next ant? So she started losing her peace. She started feeling really tense and really stressed to preserve her position. That tension of, you know, being the one leading, always afraid of, oh, what if I lose my position? And so finally, with perseverance and hard work, Alice was the first one to reach the top of the mountain. Yay! The prize was finally within the reaching distance. As Alice walked towards the prize, um, yeah, suddenly she stopped. She saw Mallow coming second, just a few steps below her. So her heart sank. Oh, there's only one prize, but we're two people. If I take it, my best friend would be left without it. And moreover, she knew deep down Mallow was more deserving than her to have this prize because Mallow was leading the competition 90% of the time. The reason why Mallow reached 1 minute later than Alice was because towards the end, Mallow saw some injured ants on the way and she stopped to help them. And as Alice saw this, yeah, she started feeling a bit ashamed of herself. She thought of how many injured ants she had to ignore throughout her way just to be able to reach on the just to be able to be the first to reach on top of the mountain. Yeah, how many injured ants she ignored and rushed as if she didn't see anything. Yeah, she just pretended that it wasn't there. She was like, okay, my prize. It's the most important. Let me just go. So, as Alice was dwelling in her thoughts and regrets, the king came and interrupted her thoughts. The king was all delighted, shook her hand, and congratulated her. My child, congratulations! Yes, on achieving this. Here's your prize, and you may begin the ascent of the second mountain tomorrow. What? Hearing the word ascent, Alice almost collapsed. Well, I just finished climbing the first mountain. Like, don't I even deserve a day of rest? It was as if the king had read her thoughts. He said, My child, before thinking about rest, first climb the mountains, then work. Then, when you have managed to produce enough rice for the rest of your life, then you can rest. This is the way of living a good life, said the king wisely. Well, if he is an old man, what he said must be right, Alice thought. So, okay, although Alice felt frustrated, she decided to follow his advice because he's the king. He must be wise. His words must be wise. If Alice followed him, certainly she would have a good life. So, okay, she took the trophy and walked back home and started preparing the ascent of the second mountain. But on her way home, she looked at the trophy and thought, well, it looked all bright and shiny from afar, but once I hold it in my hand, it's actually not that beautiful as it seemed. And I'm actually wondering, like, what are all the things I have given up in order to have this? Was it even worth it in the end? Alice will keep seeking until she finds an answer. And for those of you who are looking for your own answer, like Alice, Alice would like to send you all her love through the following song, this time in the national ant language. 轻轻敲醒沉睡的心灵，慢慢睁开你的眼睛，看看忙碌的世界是否依然孤独地转个不停。春风不解红尘，吹动少年的心，让昨日脸上的泪痕随记忆风干了。抬头寻找天空的翅膀，候鸟出现它的影踪，带来远处的饥荒，无情的战火依然存在的消息。玉山白雪飘零，燃烧少年的心，让柔情融化成音符，倾诉遥远的祝福。唱出你的热情，伸出你的双手，让我拥抱着你的梦，让我拥有你真心的脸孔，让我们的笑容充满着青春的骄傲，让我们期待明天会更好。Okay, so that was it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the song, and I'll see you again in the next part of the story. Bye!